Hey everyone, how's it going? Puntastic77 here, coming to you with some Team Fortress 2 again. Hope you're doing well. I'm playing a little bit of Barn Blitz here with the stock Demo Man loadout, except I have the pan to cause some pandemonium from Pundemonium? From Puntastic? I don't know. Anyways, let's get right into the video here. So this is my 100th Team Fortress 2 video. It's not the 100th video on my channel overall. I have a bunch of other videos from different games, but this is my 100th Team Fortress 2 gameplay, or video that features TF2 in some capacity. And you can check out the playlist that's featured on my channel if you want to see the other 99 videos with TF2 goodness in them. So I'm not really big on like milestone type things. Like, I don't announce like every 100 new subscribers I get, like, hey guys, we've hit 300 subscribers, or like, hey, we've hit 4,000 subscribers. I'm not really big into that, just because I don't think subscriber count matters. Obviously I'd like people to see my content, as many people as possible, but as I've said from the beginning of my videos up until this day, I only make videos on YouTube just for fun, just to mess around with video editing, just to see what I'm able to do creatively. It's always been a creative outlet. So that being said, that I'm not really big into milestone kind of things, and me saying that this is a 100th video, which is like a milestone, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about YouTube so far for me and how it's been, and Team Fortress 2 specifically, since we're watching Team Fortress 2 gameplay. So really the way I want to break this down is, one, I want to talk about YouTube, how I got into it, like what was my first experience with YouTube, and then what was my first experience with Team Fortress 2, and then kind of combining those and deciding, hey, I kind of want to record me screaming in a lobby and put it on YouTube for people to see. So let's get right into it. So first of all, when did I first get on YouTube? One, I am not a person who likes to make accounts for anything. If anyone knows me personally in real life, they know that I hate making accounts for websites. I hate putting in email addresses. Like, I don't want people to have that information. Just my email, even though I have like 3 dummy emails. Do I have 3 dummy emails? No, I have 1 dummy email and 2 standard ones, I guess, let's say. Anyway, so I first got on YouTube back in 2006 or 2007. It was very young. YouTube was very young. I had heard about it from a friend. He said, hey man, there's this new video website you gotta check out. People are putting a lot of cool stuff on there, when it comes to video games. And I had just, been playing a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then everyone was like, oh, if you want to see how to get better at the game, if you want to see some cool stuff that happens in COD 4, definitely check out YouTube. So at the time, I think I was in San Francisco at a wedding, and I was in the garage of, I think it was my dad's cousin's house, and there was a computer there, and someone was like, oh, go check out YouTube. So that computer had the internet, and so I went on youtube.com and I saw it for the first time. And I always try and keep track of little not milestone, but like first times of things. Like, where was I the first time I did this? Where was I, when I heard about that? There's like certain events in your life I think that you should keep track of. And you can say, well, the internet's not really special, you go on a million sites a day. But I think, for something like YouTube, knowing where you were the first time you went on YouTube is kind of a cool thing. And, I really am glad that I remember where I was. I wish I knew what the first video I watched, but I can't go back far enough in the history because I didn't have an account then. Anyway, so I was in San Francisco before this wedding, hopped on this computer, went on YouTube. Oh, cool, it's, express yourself, or whatever the motto was back then. And, after the wedding, got back home to Southern California, where I was living at the time, and, just kept lurking on it. I really didn't make an account. I would just go on youtube.com, and it would just show me like the top videos for the day, like the ones with the most links, or the ones that were rated with the most stars, because back then it was like a star rating system instead of a up like, down like feature. So after a while, I decided, you know what, I just go on here all the time and I just look up Call of Duty 4 videos. Like, I should really just make an account and see what they have, you know. So then I discovered the subscribing system, and I started watching a bunch of these guys on YouTube who would post videos about Call of Duty 4, and you know, all they were doing was just talking about it. Like, hey guys, I'm playing on Crash and I'm using the M16 or the MP5 with a silencer on it, and the video quality was horrible, the microphone quality was just garbage, and at the time I had no interest in like video production or, you know, any kind of video recording. I kind of just took it as like, oh, this is better than TV right now, I guess, because I can just keep clicking and I don't have to watch commercials, because this is kind of before YouTube had been monetized up the ass and you get advertisements for everything. But I guess that's just how the internet has developed nowadays. So fast forward to college. This was when was that, like 2011, 2012. So I'd been on YouTube and I had a shitty laptop, and I could not play any games at all. Like nothing. Like I had Steam on it because I wanted to see what I could put on, and I had Team Fortress 2 on there because it was the first free-to-play game that I saw, and I had to have everything on the lowest settings, and I still couldn't play the game. Like, it was just that bad of a laptop. And I actually went back and I opened up that laptop I think a few weeks ago when I was just visiting back home, and it's a horrible laptop. I love it to death, but like it just can't do anything. So I had saved up enough money at this time in college to buy a new desktop computer, and I had always wanted a desktop computer because they're more powerful, and I kind of wanted to do some video editing stuff. And I saved up for the exact computer that I wanted. It was like $500 at Best Buy. It was not a custom built PC. It's just a standard, you know, built-in one, you know, PC. It came just standard. The only thing that really appealed to me about it was it had a lot of RAM, and that's what I thought you needed to have for playing video games. I didn't know anything about graphics cards or anything like that. I was just like, oh, it just needs a lot of RAM. That's it. This thing has like the most RAM for the least amount of money that I could pay for. And so I bought it, and the first game I bought for it was SimCity, the like new one that they made for it. I still have that game, and I still have the case for it because it was still CDs at the time, even though it is really recent. I think like 2011, 2012 it came out, something like that. So I was able to play SimCity on there with like medium graphics settings, and I was like, holy shit, this is great. This is exactly what I want. And I remembered about Team Fortress 2, and I'm like, this is what I want to play right now, because I've been wanting to play this game. It's free. I don't want to pay money on Steam. Am I able to play it? This is amazing, you know? And I put it on there, and I changed the graphics setting. First, I put it at like the highest ones, and it was working. And it was a little bit laggy, and you know, I was using like a really shitty internet connection, but it was working. So I kind of lowered the graphics settings just a little bit, and it started working a little bit better. And then you go on YouTube and you check, you know, for how to improve graphics settings, and you do stuff with the shadows and things like that, and it makes it a little bit more better. So it was just an overall, you know, learning experience, and I want to talk a little bit about that as well too. Just there's like developments that you get in your TF2, you know, career that you figure out. So like one, getting a custom HUD is like something that people discover. Two, it's, you know, getting some sort of mod or some sort of add-on to the game that you really wouldn't think of putting on before, but it makes the game a little bit more fun for you. And the most recent one for me, honestly, was the view distance for the character. So as you can see with the demo man right now, like his arms are kind of like popping out of his shoulders a little bit, and it makes it just a little bit smaller on the screen so your sticky launcher doesn't take up half the screen. And I think that's like a really great addition. I think once I get a little bit better at the game, I will completely remove them, and you can see like when people play Scout, sometimes they don't have a scatter gun, they just have their crosshairs on there, and I want to get to the point where I can do that. So let's talk about the present, because after that, you know the story, started making, you know, games on YouTube, started making videos about TF2 on YouTube and talking about wacky topics, and slowly started getting better equipment. Like I got a new microphone, I got a new keyboard, I got a new mouse, like a mouse pad, all that stuff. And so I have this Frankenstein computer still, same one from 2011. And looking into the present and into the future, what do I want to do? So currently, I am extremely busy. Like, I have started my master's degree here, and it is kicking my butt. Like, it's just the most work I've had to do in a long time, and it's just really sucking a lot of energy, and that's why you've seen a lot fewer uploads from me, which is not a bad thing. I never said that I was gonna post a lot anyways. It's always just been whenever I wanted to make something, and I try to be consistent when it comes to putting out TF2 content, because it is stuff that people like to see, and I do think that I followed the every Tuesday schedule pretty well, and I'm pretty happy about that I've been able to keep myself on that schedule. So that's presently what's happening. Is I want to, put some games up, still keep going with the TF2, maybe try some games that I've really wanted to play, and just kind of broaden my horizons. But let's talk about the future. Now, when it comes to the future, I want to develop the channel a little bit more. I want to be a little bit more dynamic with it. I want to get better with my video editing, my sound editing, make sure everything is crisper, looks a lot better. Streaming, I want to be able to stream more. I want to be able to stream regularly without any lag, and to be able to stream in 1080 rather than in 720 and it barely working. But that's going to require a new computer. So, saving up for a new computer. Hopefully we'll be able to get that sometime in the future. I'm not going to make any promises about that. But yeah, that's really it. It's kind of corny when YouTubers always say like, hey, I really appreciate you guys who have stuck around for the whole time, but I really do. And that being said, since I don't like making accounts for things, and now you know this secret about me, I made a Twitter for myself, for Puntastic. So you can check that. I will probably put a little link in the description with it. Actually, it's been featured in a few videos there, so if you have a Twitter, you can go check that out. It just tells you when new videos have been posted, and I'll post some funny things on there. But the gameplay is coming to a close here, and the video is coming to an end. Let me know what you thought about this, and thank you all for watching so much.